Soon as we step on the mic, man, you notice the difference. Heavenly blessed with the melanin, baby, you know that we winning. No time for the long talk, got 120 on the clock. Wednesday, 8 through 10, all the bad vibes better stop. Cause you gotta come with that energy. Kazual Konvos, baby, come down and just sit with me. Lil' Coco be spitting that remedy. Kazual Konvos, baby, come down and just sit with me. You better take this shit serious. She dropping knowledge on head and it's free for the play. Tap in right now if you curious. We got the ham radio going lit every age. We go from people to family to pilots. Stay with me if you got something to say. You know it's important if we go acknowledge. Speak on the business and get out the way. What you gonna say about my mama? She winning, you rockhead.
The Kazual Konvo show with me, Coco, where we have conversations about topics that affect the communities, personal and business relationships. We always have the casual convo, so you don't have to have the tough combo. And Tajah. Hi. Yeah, you're gonna be irky. Yeah, right. You're gonna be very much irky boots. How are you?
Oh, cool.
You look like it.
Thank you.
How was your day? What does that mean?
How was your day?
Oh, AF.
That's what that means.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
So you want to introduce the...
Today, we will be talking about motivation.
What about it?
We're going to be talking about everything, like, you know, what motivates people, what keeps them going. You know, I can't think of nothing else other than that.
I don't know why I came out with that one.
Why? This is a good one.
Because I don't always be motivated.
And see, that's a very common thing.
So I was like, we're gonna talk about it. Because I'm quite sure I'm not the only one that feel that way. As far as like, we just don't feel like it.
Right.
And then sometimes certain things can deflect from everything.
Right.
It can just touch your whole tone off. But how do you feel about it?
How do I feel about motivation?
Mm-hmm.
Like currently, I don't feel like I have any right now. But you know, I'm getting there. You know, God has a way.
Why?
I'm tired of being tired. I'm just tired.
Tired of what?
I'm just tired of being tired. I'm tired, bro. Just tired.
All right, so what would motivate you then? So what could you do or what could happen?
Oh, I'm working on that, you feel me? I'm trying to get back to me. You know what I mean? Like I'm trying to, you're looking at me crazy. That's why I'm feeling like I don't make sense.
No, I'm listening. I'm following you. Go ahead.
Okay. So I feel like what I'm doing right now is like I'm trying to like, you know, a way you feel when you feel good about yourself, you know, you start to do good for yourself. Does that make sense?
Right.
Right. So if I look good, then I'm gonna feel good, then I'm gonna want to do good. So right now I'm focusing on getting my little bit of confidence back so that then I can let that travel into my external.
You know that's true. That's why they say every time females get their head down, their attitude be stank.
Mm-hmm. Love it.
So
good stuff, right?
Right.
So you be on it.
So that's like, okay. I don't know. For me, I think it's more so like, I don't know. I'm not gonna say I get sidetracked, but I think when I feel overwhelmed,
oh yeah,
it make me be like, I'm
gonna just sit this one out.
But then I start setting more stuff out, and then I feel like everything come at one time, or like the one thing I said I was gonna work on this year. Like I'm not saying I got like a what is it called? What's that? Oh, what is the thing that you do every year? What's the thing you do? The resolution. Girl, you're supposed to help me figure this out. So I didn't say I was going to do one of those, but I did say I wanted to work more on like balance and stuff like that, because I be all over the place a lot of times and I forget a lot of stuff. So I think part of that for me is like trying to figure it all out. So I have to come up with a system that works.
You
so,
know what I find funny about resolutions?
Oh,
I just thought about it. I ain't gonna lie to you. I just find it so funny. People have motivation. See how I put it towards the subject? That's crazy. Anyhow, people only have motivation for like 3 weeks.
What, the beginning of the year?
Yep.
That's why I don't do resolutions. Because they
They
don't
have
do
that
long
little
term.
bit of motivation, and then it just slowly dissipates.
Okay.
That's
that word.
Dissipate.
Dissipate. Well, whatever it was. Rich, what is it?
What's the word?
Because I know he know what it is.
One of us said it wrong.
Anyway.
One of us.
So it was like that. And so I know I said I'm not going to do a resolution, but I was going to continue to try to make certain stuff better.
Right.
So you want to say it or should I say? Because I did get some recent motivation.
Oh, you was on the Dean's list. I'm so glad the child is not here.
Yeah. So they gave me motivation to just like want to keep going. Because at first I was like, I don't feel like it. And then I was in the class. And you know how you get the reading stuff and you get so, how you just feel exhausted and tired all the time?
That's every time I read a textbook.
So yeah, it was like that. Then I was like, I really don't feel like it. And I felt like I wasn't putting forth the effort I know I could. So the final stuff was like, when it came through and I was like, holy shit, I'm really like,
you're doing this.
Yeah. So next thing you know, I was like, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to do what I got to do and keep pushing. I think sometimes you need that extra or like a light to be like, yeah, you got this, keep going. But it only take one thing, 1 second, one little, that's why I said negative stuff is powerful because it can mess up your whole aura, your whole demeanor, and make you just want to be like, I don't even want to do it no more. What was that? So that's where, so that's where I was. And then I'm like, okay. So after that, I was like, all right. And then just motivation from like different people. And so I'm looking it up and I'm like, the one thing I do is I keep trying to see like where I am and where I want to be. Right. So that's one thing that keep me going. Like even no matter how tired I am, and people be like, when do you sleep? Or when do you do this? I don't know. I'm on a mission right now. But the one thing I can say that I learned from over the course of the last couple of months is I don't want to work myself to death to the point where I don't have a life.
Yes.
And that's what I was doing between, working 13, 14 days straight, doing all kinds of stuff, then studying on top of those days and dealing with y'all. And then what?
I was amazing.
Dealing with y'all and working.
I don't know why you be acting like I'm the trouble child or something, because I'm the heaven sent one. I am the God-given child. Okay.
Well, I mean, it's just easy for life to pass you by when I get you focused, and sometimes you got to keep that focus to keep on going. Yeah. But at the end of the day, and it's like I gotta take my own advice, because sometimes I'll be like, well, you only got one life to live. And I tell people that all the time, live your life, but I wasn't doing it. The same thing.
Nope, you wasn't. Not at all.
Not this year in 2022.
Oh, Lord.
I'm gonna be going out. I'm gonna be traveling, doing
I could have swore I said this one time in another show, which you was really saying here, talking about some, yeah, we're gonna go here in March, then here in April, then here in May, then June.
What? And I was there
month after month after month, like bills.
We're going through those too. Listen, my thing is, everything don't have to cost a whole lot.
It don't.
You can take up.
I don't have a whole little either.
What? So all I'm saying is you gotta live, you gotta do certain things to be great, to be whatever the shit is you want to be. So that motivated me to just try to relax a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
And then also stress is real.
Real.
So
And it will take over.
that's my motivation to like that motivated me because you know what I went through.
Yeah.
To be like relax, chill.
Mm-hmm.
So my motivation came from being tired all the time.
Tired of being tired.
And then when you see other people that work like how you do, you like, that's how I look.
Yeah.
And I don't want to look that old.
Tired of being tired.
I don't want to look that worn out.
Mm.
You ever see people and you be like, they must have a heart. No, they don't sleep. They just be.
Yo,
I don't want to be like that.
I've seen a few people like that, and I'd be like, not me. I can't do good shit.
What be important to you though when it like where you get yours from?
Well, my motivation.
Mm-hmm.
So
I don't think I like this hair stuff. Ever since you did your hair different, your attitude a little bit. I don't
and
know.
you know what I realized? Every time I curl it, it's a different curl.
You act real brand new. You acting real bougie right now.
Good. That is my lifestyle. You won't be here.
Did you say that's your lifestyle?
Yes, I'm trying to live the bougie lifestyle. Y'all won't let me be great. Y'all won't allow it, and I don't understand why.
Oh, answer the question, please.
What was the question?
Where you get your motivation from?
Oh, so actually,
I'm listening. I'm listening.
Thank you. Okay.
Go ahead.
So I get my focus from my child, but I also what I'm trying to do now, because honestly, if that was like if everybody's only motivation was their child, like better like children would be in better households, honestly. But so I'm trying to make it towards where more of like I'm my own motivation, like my well-being, like like I don't want it to be like, oh well, if I do this then everybody else will be okay.
Mm-hmm.
I want it to be where I'm like, well, if I do this I'm going to be okay, so then like maybe later on everybody else can be okay, but right now for me this is what's going to help me. That's what I'm trying to switch it to, but right now it's just I need to make things happen for her. There it goes.
Okay. Outside of her, what else motivates you?
That's what I'm saying.
Nothing.
That's what I'm saying. I'm trying to switch it up.
Failure is my motivation. Or feeling like if I feel like I know I could have done better and I didn't. I mean, granted, y'all a little bit. Y'all used to be my main motivation, but
right.
Y'all got old.
Right.
So
see what I mean? Like,
so then it became, I think mine is like I said, failure, or when I feel like I let myself down and I didn't put my all into it. It make me want to push harder. See, but then that's like that double-edged sword. Because sometimes it can make me feel like I ain't gonna fool with this no more. And I might get in a little funk.
Mm-hmm. See, I was gonna say like failure, that's not really like a fear of me, because now I just think of like every failure as a lesson.
I don't like to, but I got pride. So it's kind of like,
see, and I'm trying to let go of mine. So that's what I'm trying to change my mantras up.
So it's like I got to prove it to myself that this is what I want. This is what I want to do. So part of that comes from
when I don't talk about that for a second, like actually like
what?
Talk about that. Like really have like feeling like I'm proving all of this, not to nobody else, but to myself.
Okay. What you want to talk about?
Just like, that's a powerful statement. That's really powerful. Because when you think about it, like, because what did you just say? I just had it. It was just that.
What, like letting myself down?
No.
What?
Oh, you proving it to yourself. That's what I was talking about.
Okay.
But yeah, that's a very powerful statement, because when you think about it, people are like, I'm going to prove everybody wrong, everybody that doubted me. But when you say, nope, I don't got nothing to prove to nobody else but myself, that's like, ooh, you're doing some deep searching. Or you really like, it's like, are you trying to prove it to like the older you or the younger you? That's what I was thinking about.
I think the better me. it's not an older or younger, it's the better me.
Mhm.
My main objection, my main goal, my main focus is just to be better.
Right.
And I feel like, you know, sometimes you be like, you might just sit and think and reflect, which a lot of people don't like to do because they don't like to really evaluate themselves, which was at one time me. But I do like to sit and self-reflect and think of where I am, how I could be better, what mistakes have I made where so I'm not where in my mind or in the past I wanted to be. And how can I, you know, get there and be better? And I think the one thing I try not to do is make up for lost time or make up for past mistakes. And I think that's where, from the outside looking in on different situations, a lot of people may go wrong, is trying to make up for what happened back then instead of just moving forward and progressing. And that's like a motivator in itself. Like I always say, if I make a mistake or if I say the wrong thing or do the wrong thing, I can't dwell in that.
Right.
So even if it happened 15 minutes ago, I'm going to sit there and be like, all right, that's old. So now we're going to go here. So I'm trying to keep that mind frame and better that mind frame to not be wallowing in what I don't need to. And just focus on the positive and be better and just stay motivated in that way.
Right.
So yeah. That was it.
Yeah, that's it.
I asked you a question that you never even answered.
What question?
I said outside of stink. Dollar, what?
I told you I'm trying to change that. That's what I'm trying to change. I don't
like,
have
what are you
no
doing?
other motivation.
But what are you doing?
As in what?
To try to change it.
I'm working on me. I'm doing some inner work. That's what I'm saying. Like when I talk about like my journaling and meditating and everything, like that's me trying to like.
How does that motivate you, like journaling?
Like journaling, that's not really motivating. Well, it kind of is because that's where I write down all my goals and my thoughts and stuff. So I'm able to process and like organize things the right and correct way. Because in my mind, it's all jumbled up. So I got to get organized somehow. But yeah, but like I said, like when it comes down to Della, like right now, like she's my main motivation. Well, my only motivation. I'm trying to make it to where I find other motivations in just life in general.
I have a question.
Oh, I may not have an answer.
How do you know when you're actually like motivated? That was a long sigh.
You did it with me though. It was like in sync. You ain't feel that? Lord. Intense.
Like, what about you changes when you
when
know
I'm actually motivated?
Oh,
like my whole thought process is different. Like I no longer just think of like, because well, you can tell when I'm not motivated because I just constantly think about the same problem. Like I won't think of like no solutions. I won't try to work on any solutions. I just sit there and I just think about it. Like I overthink it until like it gets really bad. But then like you can tell when I get motivated because then I'm like, okay, I got some work to do. Like, and then I'll go sit and I'm like doing some research or making phone calls, whatever I gotta do to figure stuff out. But like my whole aura changed.
So what?
It's beautiful.
Okay, so your transition from not motivated to motivated, like walk me through what that looked like.
I just did.
You didn't. You said,
yeah.
That's not what.
Oh, Jesus. Okay. So basically, I just be chilling. When I'm not motivated, I don't do nothing. I just be sitting there. I be sad. Don't know why I'm sad. Just overthinking. You feel me? Just there. I just be there in the space. Living. But then as soon as I grab some motivation, then you know I actually start putting in some work to like fix things or like do things, you know.
What you mean fix things like what? You mean like creative wise?
No, just like in general, like, life happens, problems. So now I want to actually find solutions to those problems. I want to actually work towards my goals. Like, I don't want to just sit around. Like, I actually want to like put in some type of effort to keep on going.
I know when I'm motivated, I'll be more energized. My energy is different. I mean, not saying like my negative part, but just my energy level is different. When I'm not, I procrastinate more. I don't want to say lazy, but I'm more to myself. I'm more solemn. You heard the word? You heard it?
It's all these big words today. That's what it's given. It's the hair. That's the hair.
That's my education.
It's the hair.
But no, but I'm more solemn in that way. So it's kind of like I'm just, I'm more in my head.
Right.
But when I'm motivated, I would say I'm more organized. I'm pushing forward more. I want to do more stuff. I'm more active when I'm motivated than when I'm not. And it's hard to get me to put my foot on the gas when I'm not.
Excuse me. You didn't ask me what did I think motivation was in the beginning. I don't like how we didn't get a definition.
I went off.
Yeah.
I went right into it.
I ain't like nothing about that.
Hello.
Hi.
What is motivation to you? Why are you like this? Why?
Now, I just realized you didn't ask me, but I didn't think of an answer.
So how would you stop
How
me?
the motivation is.
What is it?
Motivation is, to me, is basically it's the thing that keeps you going. What's the motivation mean to you?
To me, motivation is a drive. It's something, you know, they'd be like, okay, somebody put, it's like somebody put, you know, people be like, oh, somebody put a battery in your back or something like that. So I think your motivator is what controls you to drive and reach levels of success. And or anything that you want to do and you just push through, you do it, you conquer it, and then you on to the next and you just keep going. What? That didn't make sense?
No, I'm listening. I'm just I'm trying to stay along.
So that's, to me, that's just what I mean.
Okay.
Are you happy with that now?
Yeah, I'm content.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
Why are you like this?
Anyway,
and I forgot where I was because you stopped me when I was telling me about.
It was on my mind.
But anyway, what changes? Because I can't remember where I left off before you cut me off. So, but anyway, so when I feel like when I get myself out of the just not being into nothing, I think what changes is my attitude. I'm more outgoing when I'm motivated than when I'm not. When I'm not, I don't want to talk to people. I don't want nobody saying nothing to me. I'd be mad when my phone go off. Like,
well, I'm like that when I'm motivated too. So, I mean,
it's just rude.
I just don't like to talk.
You're just really, really rude.
No, I'm not. Do you see what happens when I talk? Like, I can't get my words together sometimes.
What? All right, question.
Possible answer.
If you could think of anything right now.
What? Go ahead.
If you could think of anything right now that you really, really want to do, but you haven't done because you haven't had the drive to do it, what would it be?
And go back to school.
Why you do it?
Because I ain't got no motivation to do it.
Go back to school for what?
Sociology. Ooh.
What made you think of that one? I never knew. This is my first time hearing of this one. What made you think of sociology?
I keep a lot of things to myself.
Oh, well, we can make it public now. What's the
Anywho. Because I was really actually big into psychology, but I realized that I'm more into behavioral psychology, not really more of like the brain stuff. I'm more into like the behavioral portion of psychology. So that means I'm more into sociology. So I want to get into sociology and get into like behavioral cognitive practice and stuff.
Oh, that's cute.
Yeah.
I like it. Okay, you said you don't know. So how do you feel like hey T, like professional
what?
motivation?
Oh, my paycheck.
Okay, wait a minute. You put me on guard with that one. That is a motivator.
I'm sorry.
Especially when that overtime hit.
Okay. Like, if I knew my paycheck finna look nice, then what you need me to do?
Let me see what else I got. How do you motivate? Okay, no. Let's say you know how like it's a group of people, group of friends.
I don't like where this is going already, because usually when your conversations start with a group of friends, that's usually
that's where I was going, Michael. So if you got a group of friends, how do you like, and you notice one of your friends slacking?
Or just get it together. They better. Don't play that.
So I'm gonna read this one. So I'm gonna just say the first name. So Michael says some people need that extra push because they fear failing or the thought of not finishing what they started. That's me.
Yeah, I can't easily not finish something. I'm about to say, yeah, I can easily not finish something.
Do you get frustrated when you don't?
No.
I do.
I don't.
I do. No, I mean like not frustrated in a bad way, but
it'll probably depend on what it is for me. But like usually,
if it take a certain time frame.
Like usually, like because I always think about it as like my mantra for life is everything happens for a reason.
Mantra.
Yes, everything happens for a reason, and trusting in the process.
What does that mean, though, to you?
What, like everything happens for a reason and trusting the process?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so we gotta split them up now because those are two different things.
Let me write it down because you forget.
Thank you. I'm glad you're realizing we need somebody to type in. Okay. So where was that at?
Everything happened for a reason.
Okay, so everything happens for a reason. So I believe that because everybody knows I believe in God. So let's just go ahead and put that out there. So I believe that God puts you, like, even though like you don't always go down the path that God wants you to go down, like when you do have to go down the other path, he always puts things in your obstacle to put you back onto the right path. Mm-hmm. So I believe that when things are happening, it's for a reason so that you can get put onto the right path. Okay. So at the end of the day, even though you may not have been on the right page or may not have been making the right decisions, at least maybe this will help you start thinking about what can be the right decisions for future references. That's that one. Okay. The second one was trusting the process. So, for example, me and the siblings, we was just baking. Okay. All right. Go ahead. Me and the siblings, we was just baking cookies. And here go Jay. Talk about some Tajah. It's dry. We need to add some more water and some more butter. I'm like, no, you gotta trust the process.
Add some milk.
But we didn't need to add no milk. We just had to keep on mixing. You had to keep on working, right? Okay. To get what you wanted, which was the cookie dough. Okay. So the more we mixed, the better it looked. And the more he stopped talking. You use milk. No, we didn't need the milk. See, that's the problem. You had to trust you're not trusting the process.
Oh, I'm sorry.
You gotta trust the process. And the cookies turned out delicious. So when I say trust the process, it's just trusting the fact that if you keep putting in the hard work and you keep doing what you need to do, then you're going to get the right outcome. And you got to trust that no matter which way you go, you're going to eventually get back on the right foot. So they kind of tie together, but they're still two different ones, because one is like trusting. So one is your faith and the other one is your hard work. That's what I think.
Tierra, no, you know I'm gonna say your name or on the air.
Every situation.
Tierra said, yeah, she's a firm believer of everything happens for a reason. Every situation has a purpose. Mm-hmm. The piggyback off of that, I agree. However, have you ever brings me back to like the friendship circle, and T can damn, I can't get it. Can you do it? Because Tajah, I don't call her again. She can attest to this. Sometimes you can have a group of people, right? And then you know how sometimes, yes, everything happened for a reason, but everybody doesn't get the purpose of what the reason was. Mm-hmm. Some people don't pay attention to the signs. Some people, and that's what I think also comes from self-reflecting. Mm-hmm. And that's what I said.
I call that the product of the environment.
And that's true. That too.
Because it can go two ways. It can always go two ways.
What's 2 ways?
So
I'm liking where this is going. You know, I like these type of conversations. Go ahead.
Because like when you have a product of the environment, like it could either be a good thing or a bad thing. Mm-hmm. You know, so like you could have some people. Okay, so say you grew up in like the projects or whatever. Mm-hmm. You know, you're around like violence, gang related, like all that kind of stuff, bad education. They kind of tie all those things together. Like you only got basketball is your only way out is like the males. And who knows what it is for females now. But yeah. Right, it's working. Like, that's it. That's all you got to get out. Like, that's it. So
no shade.
Right. Where was I at?
The good and bad.
Right. So there's good and bad. So somebody could take that situation and be like, I don't never want to be back here, and could work hard, and they trust the process instead of feeding into what's happening around them. That's straying away and going their own path. Okay. But then you got other people that's like, well, this is all I know, so that's all I can do. Thank you. I'll be trying.
So yeah, I mean that's what I was going, because you know sometimes it's some people who just be like, they just don't see it. And that's why I say everybody don't get that everything happened for a reason. They go backwards or they spiral.
Right.
So everybody doesn't use what happens as an influence to go upward. They just go downward. So when I was asking like about your circle of friends, for instance, like T, so it's kind of like don't use it as a crutch. That's true. But when you have people, and I feel like when I always say people use friendships, the word friends very loosely, because I feel like within your friends, you care about your friends, you love your friends, you want to see your friends be the best them they could be.
Right.
But everybody just want to call everybody a friend. Exactly. So fast forward, we're not even on that. That's a whole nother show. Yeah. So what I'm saying is there has to be a point when what do you do to try to uplift your friend? Because you know how you see some people that don't want to uplift.
You got to know your friend and how to uplift. Because I know with each one of my friends, each three,
right, it's different.
It's very different for each three. Like for one, like me and her were just talking today. Oh my gosh, I love her. She's amazing. You know Megan. Megan's amazing. Okay. So today, me and her were talking. The one with no hair.
Oh, okay. Yeah, she's cool. I like her.
Yeah, I love her.
Okay.
So she was like, I don't know why. Like it was out of the random. She said it. She said, I don't know why. I just feel.
Okay. Michael said, should you surround yourself around people that don't have any motivation or goals to do better? Absolutely not. Yeah.
I was about to say, I know the answer. That's a no. Because at the end of the day, you are what you surround yourself with. So if you surround yourself with, because it's a vibrational thing. It's all about the energy level and the vibrations. Like if I can tell, like if you ain't really got no goals and nothing like that or no motivation, then your vibration is low and you shouldn't even be attracted to me in that way. Not even friendship level. So that means I need to find somebody in my higher vibrational range, because that ain't working. That's not gonna work out because I'm gonna just go down. Ain't it?
She on one tonight. I'm happy. Look, I'm letting it go. This her show tonight. I'm sorry. This her show tonight. But go ahead.
Like, yeah, like that don't even.
But even with that, when you say on your vibe, you could meet people and they could be on your frequency, but that doesn't mean everybody don't go through a point in their life where they go through stuff. That's just life. But what I'm saying is, like, sometimes you got to take your people who you genuinely call your friends and you uplift them when you notice their vibes are changing.
See, I'm not gonna lie. I just had a situation like this, and I kept saying,
don't nobody know what she said.
Oh, I'm sorry. Well, T said, you only have so many times for me to uplift you, and you don't take heed, because then I feel like I'm talking for nothing. And
that's going to be in the second half. You can't always give up, though.
No, you can't always give up. But you wanna know what I did? I was like, I can't do nothing else. I said, I done tried. I said, now they gonna have to show me. I said, because I can't do this no more. But they eventually, like, I didn't stop talking to them or anything like that, but it was just like I need to see a little bit of effort. And I let them know, like, this is where I'm at, because I feel like you're just stuck here. So for me to want you to get there, I have to see you want to get there.
Shit.
Right.
No, I mean, I get it, because I've been that one. And I know I go through stuff, and like I said, sometimes I get in my shutdown modes, and she had to get me together before. So it's also kind of like, yes, you have to know your circle of friends,
definitely
your close circle of friends. But I also think, like, for me, if I know my friend going through something, I'm gonna always be that. I'm gonna always listen. But you know how some people, not saying like you can know somebody going through something and go down them, or not really understanding that, okay, this is when my friendship is important, to be that shoulder to lean on, or to say, hey, let's try to bring you out of it. If I'm like, okay, let's do something. You get what I mean? No matter what it is, because if you just sit in it, you're going to sit in it. So that's my thing when I say that. And then you'll have some people that'll go in and be like, oh, that's my friend. But now they do walk away from you, and then you stuck by yourself, which is, I'm going to come up. I learned a lot with this motivation thing when I did my little research. However, that's why I said you probably shouldn't give up on your friend, because you don't know what that person is going through in their own head.
I feel like if that's your friend, then you're not going to give up on them. You get what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, if that's like your friend, then you ain't going to.
Wait, man, I don't. Yeah, if I keep uplifting and you don't take it, then I'm going to ask, what do you want for yourself? Because if our views of what you're capable of don't match up, then you're wasting your time. That's true. But a lot of people, like, that's why I said a lot of people use that friend word very loosely, and they don't have them conversations. That's why I said I can really appreciate
your real friends is able to
the friends that I have, which is on this hand.
Okay.
And it's kind of like, because those are the people that I know when I'm not being my true self, of meaning, not saying true self is like, oh, you being fun. No, when I'm saying true self of, look, you better than this. I know you are. And actually have those conversations and allow me to be vulnerable, that's different. But you know, everybody, I think every friend group has that one friend. Well, you should really just, that judgmental type friend. I ain't talking about her or him. I'm talking about, that friend is like, listen, I know you're going through something. Like, sometimes you gotta let people go through their process, but when they come out of it, you gotta be there, not like, just be there.
Right, just be there.
And help them through it. And then you never know, sometimes just you being there and caring about that person can motivate them enough to, okay, let me just do something. Like, I'm not even gonna say the person name, because I don't want to put them out there like that. So me and a friend had a conversation, I think like a day or two ago. And it was kind of like, they was like, let me get my shit together because I ain't doing what I was supposed to be doing. I'm like, what you mean? Or they felt like they was the friend that wasn't doing nothing because all the other friends was doing different things.
Right.
So my thing was, you got to know when it's your time. And for instance, like going back to school was like one of the things.
Right.
So when you got all your friends, your friendship circle, going to school, or graduating, getting or getting like promotions and jobs, you know, moving out, doing anything, you feel like, damn, I'm still, you know what I mean? But my whole thing was go at your own pace.
I was about to say, you
can't run somebody else's race at all. So that was my advice to that person. I guess I'm not gonna say that because I know they be watching stuff. So, and I don't like putting everybody out there. And it was kind of like, but if that's your motivator of what surrounds you, and I'm the type of person, I like to be around people that's doing better than me.
Right.
Because it pushes me to get ahead. Right. Because I might pay a little bit of catch up, but I'm gonna get there. So, but I'm gonna run my own race. I'm not gonna run the next person's race because that journey wasn't for me. Exactly. So when it's time to come, it's gonna come. And then the same way the person is doing it may not be the way you need to do it. So instead of knocking people, support people. Exactly. And we say it all the time. People will dwell on your shortcomings or quote unquote failures.
Right. And it's like even like the small accomplishments. You get what I'm saying? Like, and like just the small accomplishments. Like, you know, like your graduation, like that's huge, but like the dean's list is not as big as like the graduation, but that was like a big thing.
Yes, it was. I worked hard for that list, honey.
That's what I'm saying.
So like they want to listen. You see that you gotta listen. You gotta scream.
You're not listening to me.
Don't say it wasn't that important.
Oh my Lord.
That's all I heard.
That's some sad stuff right there.
Go ahead.
You know what?
Go ahead. I was just saying.
But say one of your friends was just like, that's nice.
Oh, I've heard that.
I would be like, you
not. You ever hear somebody congratulate you and then you always got that one person in the bed? What happened? Oh, I was like, you heard it.
You seen it. I know you seen what I seen.
So,
yes, give compliments. Like, you're doing so great.
I'm a complimenter too. And sometimes a compliment can go a long way because you don't know what a person's day is or what they're going through in life, period. And sometimes that one nice gesture, I even do it with strangers. No, you look nice. I like you, look, you know. And they be like, oh, thank you. You ever see they be like, and then they go, oh. It'd be that one thing that can really make somebody be happy.
And then you get that one toddler that just walk up to you and be like, I don't like your pants. Toddlers are ruthless.
You just trip them.
They are ruthless.
Trip them.
They just say anything. They say everything.
I trip kids. Yes, I do. My foot go out real quick.
I overheard a toddler tell this one lady. It would tell her mom. It was her mom.
Oh, look at my boo failing.
She told her mom. She was like, why is that lady so big? And like, lady was just like, she's not big. She's like, yeah, she is. And then she kept getting louder. She was like, say, look. And I was just like,
she learned that from somewhere.
Somebody better get that girl.
When children do, that's learned behavior. That's somebody. That's not what
I'm trying to tell you, kids are rude.
They are rude. But a lot of times when you see kids that's blatantly rude, like some kids might be like, for instance, when Jay was young, he would be like, why they look like that? And it could be a person might have had like a some sort of like physical condition or something like unknown. That's different because now it's not that he's insulting, he's trying to figure out why they don't look like everybody else of quote whatever normalcy is supposed to look like. So I would explain it to him. But when you have some kids, especially at certain ages, just blatantly saying mean things that could be hurtful to somebody, you heard that before. Or you've been around people and then they don't get checked by the adult that they're with. They was taught that, and that's acceptable in their environment. So it's kind of like
should have, but the parent didn't.
Yeah, so you have parents who don't correct the children, so that's like a learned behavior. But I'm not doing all that, and that can also affect somebody's motivation. If I'm pumped up and then you started insulting me and going, well, listen,
because kids they gonna tell you.
I feel like this. If your kid, let me shut up. I'm not gonna say that on Rich. I'm not gonna do that tonight. I'm not gonna do that. I'm a respect ham radio. But let's just say, listen, we is equal. So
Yeah,
that's all
we're not
I'm
doing
say.
that tonight.
What? Yeah, so I'm not gonna say what I was gonna say.
I'm not playing.
Do you feel like motivation is the only key to success?
He said, "Say it with your chest. Don't say it at all." Okay.
You said say it, but I can say it.
Say it with your chest.
Because I will say it if
Put
I
some
can say it.
respect on her name.
Oh, I go back and forth with children.
I know you do.
I listen. You hurt my feelings, I'm gonna hurt you.
Look,
Listen,
my favorite. People be laughing at me, but my favorite thing to do is argue with kids.
I'm not gonna argue with you, but I'm gonna shut you down when you're gonna go somewhere and get out my face.
I love it.
Or then you get them. You ever give a child a little look? I be in a store and they be ready to act like they get ready to run into you with their cart, and you turn around, you give them a look, and they like, "Yep, go get your mother because that's who I want. Go get her because you about to get it too. Go sit down. You know, go sit down."
And then I know my friends don't like when I'm in public and there's other kids just running around. I'll be like, I'm like, where's my parents? They don't like it.
Failing, I believe in it takes a village.
Most definitely.
Each one beat one. What? Anywho, back to
I
this.
thought it was each one teach one, didn't you?
That's how you do it. When you beat them, you teach them. Stop playing with people.
I'm really not playing. How is that going to motivate them?
It's going to motivate them to do better and not play with people and act right. You can't act like that and think you're going to get away with it. Now you know what the consequences is for doing what you did because obviously somebody around you and your immediate village didn't teach you right. So now that was a life lesson. Don't do it again. And guess what? They don't.
I'm not the kid.
Oh, I'm just saying they don't though.
Okay.
No, they don't. They get it together. What? They do. How many kids do you see be rude around me? I get it together early. Listen, this is what we're not going to do. Get on my nerves. They be like, yes. And what do they not do? Get on my nerves. I ask them to do something. They do it. They respect. Listen. I don't play with kids all the time. You got, when I say it's playtime, it's playtime. Playtime over. It's a wrap.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a wrap.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I hear you.
Anyway, I had a good question. Back to the show.
What was the question? I'm ready.
I know Rich probably like be cool. Rich will edit all that out. Do you think motivation is the only key to be successful?
No.
What? Why not?
Because you don't just need motivation, you need determination. Okay, they kind of go hand in hand.
You know, some people think that's the same thing.
Yes.
What's the difference?
I don't. Okay. You want to know what I kind of think of it as?
Right.
Motivation is more of the mindful thing, and the determination is more of the physical work part.
Explain that to me.
Okay. So your motivation. She was serious, Tajah. I know she was serious.
Oh, I was dead ass.
I know. Okay. So let's go into motivation.
Mm-hmm.
So motivation is the mindful part. So motivation is the part where, you know, like you gotta get to the point where you actually want to keep going. Yeah. Oh.
Mm-hmm.
You want to keep going.
Mm-hmm.
And then you got the determination portion. And that's when, like, I don't know, like I think of it as like you're actually putting in the physical work to do what it is that you now motivated to do. Does that make sense?
I look at determination as your mindset. Once, like, if I'm determined to do something, my mind, my general focus, it's not even a goal anymore.
Mm-hmm.
That's the mission.
See,
I feel like your motivation, your motivators are what encourages you. Your determination
is what gets you.
It's that strength that you keep going.
See, and I think of that as the motivation portion.
What, sure?
Yeah. Because your motivation is what's going to give you the strength, right?
No, not all the way, not all the time. Motivation will always
Explain.
give what? That motivation will always give you the strength.
Yes.
You have to get the strength. Strength. You ever heard of
So your
strength?
determination.
No, you ever hear strength and determination?
No.
You never hear people be like, I had strength and determination. Those two be like this. But I think like, so the same way, like if I say what motivates me is something within my environment,
Right.
that encouraged me to do something. It
Mhm.
I wasn't determined. It's a factor, it's a thing, and whatever. Something
Okay.
that happened to make me think, oh damn, I need to do this. I need to get up and do something and not be stagnant.
Okay.
Are you happy with that?
Similar.
But what? Talk to me. We supposed to conversate. What is
I
it?
know,
What you
but
gonna get?
I feel
What?
so it's basically what I said.
What?
So it's like the motivation, like the mindful part. It's the part that like, all right, like I'm gonna actually like, like I'm finally able to like get myself going to do it. And then your determination. You said it's like strength and determination go together.
Mm-hmm.
So that's like your physical portion.
Well, should I say like determination, more like your will?
Okay, see, that's a little bit better.
That's better.
Yeah, that's better.
Okay. Yeah, we're gonna say determination is your will. Your motivation is just like your oomph.
That kind of sound like some ninja stuff. Not gonna
Well,
lie.
you're ninjas. That's why y'all in black.
Don't heart that.
What don't hurt what?
I don't know who hearted that, but don't heart that.
So, but yeah. Okay. Do you okay? So I looked up something and it says motivation is also a reason for a person acting or behaving a particular way. How would you dissect that?
And see, the way I'm dissecting it is like my motivation and why I do certain things. So like, I feel like I work hard so that everybody else can be set. So then like, I guess my motivation would be like the people that I care about around me in that sense. So it makes sense because like, I'm always looking to help the next person. But then that kind of don't make sense at the same time. Like it makes sense, but at the same time, it don't make sense. You know what I mean? Like I hate when things make sense, but don't make sense.
I think it's how serious I take something.
Maybe.
Because when you're not motivated to do something, your actions are very different as opposed to when you like it's time to go get it. Because now your mind, your body, everything is in sync to accomplish something. So your behaviors change, your behavior pattern. Why are you looking at me out the side of your eye? I'm trying to help.
It still don't make sense.
Why not?
Like it makes sense, but at the same time, it don't. Like it's not supposed to.
Come on and take us to the second half because that's the way we going with it.
No, it's just still not making sense because so much more goes into like why we behave in a particular way. I wouldn't just say it's motivation.
All right, let me ask you this.
Like, I understand maybe a portion.
When you ever get up in the morning and be like, I do not feel like doing nothing, and you drag. And then you ever get up in the morning and you like, whoo, ready to start this day. And you're energized throughout the day. Different behavior. Usually, a lot of times they be like, oh, this person woke up on the wrong side of the bed. Same thing. Actions, behaviors, certain things that are patterns change. Then when a person wake up on the right side, they normally, when you're having a good day, your good day starts when you open your eyes. Most of the time.
So where the motivation part come in?
That was your motivation. You woke up happy.
You just woke up.
You woke up happy.
You woke up happy, and that's your motivation. So since I'm happy,
yeah, behavior change. You were motivated to be productive
because you woke up happy.
So you do more. But if
I wake up sluggish a couple times and had a cup of coffee and was like, boom.
Yeah, coffee do help.
And then I woken up happy, and then the day has turned out pretty Sad.
When I feel like I've gotten an adequate amount of sleep, I do feel more productive. Even because sometimes when you have coffee, you have a crash moment. But then some days you just feel better than others. And your behaviors throughout the day are different. You're more productive. You accomplish a little bit more, as opposed to when you're dragging and you're in a period of your life where you're not really, you just blah. And a lot of times people don't realize it, but they really do, as opposed to when you like to the mall because I got da-da-da-da-da-da-da, and then the day I'm gonna do this, da-da-da-da-da, and then you got somebody like, well, whatever happened today, because that's what's gonna happen.
See, trusting the process.
Yeah, but it's two totally different mindsets.
I get that.
Wait, the way you think is the way you behave.
But I want to say it's based off motivation still. I just wouldn't put the like.
You see me take a brief meditation?
I see, but I'm not convinced.
Rich, we're gonna take a little break. Because we're gonna break it. No, because I think the second, because we're gonna talk about like when you lack motivation, there is a difference. And that's what I said, that takes it to when you lack motivation, what happens, how you feel, how you move, how you act, how you do all of those different things. It does have is very, it controls the outlook of your day.
We're in trouble.
Yeah. So we're gonna go ahead and take this 5-minute break, and then we will be back. Welcome back to the Kazual Konvo show with me, Coco, and
Tajah,
where we are discussing motivation. What motivates you? How do you stay motivated, get motivated, and everything else under the sun? Yeah. So far, so good, interesting. And then we got up because you said, what were you talking about? The actions? It doesn't matter. Not saying it don't matter, but
no, I just don't see how motivation ties into the way people behave. Like I get it, like it's like it, like you know, it gets them like kind of going, but like it's like being the reason why they behave. I would say nah. Or maybe I just interpreted the question too much.
probably
Yeah, I think I did.
because you was on the roll.
I was, because it's tough.
How do you feel when you lack motivation?
What do you mean? Like, how do I feel like?
How do you feel when you're not motivated? What do you feel like?
Bro, let me take you through the motions. Like when I ain't got no motivation, I be tired. Can barely eat, can't sleep. Nothing tastes good.
What?
Yeah, nothing tastes good. No food tastes good. That's why
like
I can't
pregnancy.
eat. I can't eat. What else? Then physically, I just look drained. I be tired. I be just wanting to sleep. I be over it. I be irritable. Ooh, real irritable. Don't forget about irritable. That's most of it. Okay. How do you feel when you don't have any motivation?
But same thing. I just feel drained. I don't want to do nothing. But what was interesting in the research when I was doing the stuff for the topic is when you lack motivation, all of those things, you get in like almost like a form of depression. So you're not as passionate about things than you once were. And it made me think. And it was really true.
It's about to make me think.
Yeah, well, that's what we're here for, to make people think, including you. So when you're not okay, so it's when you're not motivated, your passion, your drive. So it could be something that you love doing, and you just like, I don't want to do it. I went through a long period of that. We had talked about that before, and it's hard to get that back sometimes when you go unmotivated for a long period of time, or you just like, and you just start spiraling and dwelling in that headspace. That's why I was saying when we was talking about like the circle of friends, and sometimes where we think because we're not in people's heads, we don't know what people think, we don't know what people go through.
Right.
So at the end of the day, it's kind of like, that's why I always say don't give up on people, because when you never know what happened for a person to just spiral or get in that space, and especially if they're in a state of depression, where so a lot of people don't know what that looks like or feel like unless you're going through it.
That sounds like the book I just read.
In a book.
I read a book. It was called Queenie.
And what it say?
So basically, it was about this girl. Oh, well, adult. So she was a woman, but like she was Caribbean. Yeah, she was Caribbean, I believe.
Okay.
But literally, like it was like her life just started to spiral, and it caused her to feel less motivated to do her job. So then she was at like risk of losing her job, and then like her mental health went downhill, and like everything just kind of went so south that she just found herself into like this mode where she was just like not knowing who she was. She didn't really know who to trust, and like the people that she did trust, like you could just tell she was doing things that she shouldn't have been doing. Like she tried to make it seem like, well, I'm just trying to get over what I'm going through. It was a whole lot to it, but it was a really good book.
Not knowing where to go, where to look.
Yeah, she didn't know where to go, where to look, and then the crazy thing was that what I like that depicted a little bit was that like in the Caribbean culture, like they're not really big into therapy or anything like that. And she was like, I want to go to counseling, but like her grandfather had to be the one like tell like her grandmother like let that girl go. Like maybe then we'll have one less crazy person in the family. That's what he said. I was like, oh, this is such a nice little book.
Oh wow.
Yeah, you gotta read it. It's good. Yeah, highly recommend.
Okay, so I'm gonna need to borrow that. Okay. But yeah, okay. So anyhow,
yeah.
So anyhow, but yeah, everything that she said that's interesting because it's not interesting. Well, interesting, yeah, because I was going to say it's funny how, but I don't want to say funny because it's not funny. But most of the stuff that we talk about, most of the everything that goes on in our life, it brought life to, no matter what you're going through, positive or negative, it has an effect on your mental health.
Yes.
So, that's why when everybody was talking about, like when I said about your friendship circle, like what do you do? And it's like, well, I did, but it's like you just don't know that headspace. It's not always as easy for people to come out of it until you get what I mean? And they don't always express it. Like I said, a lot of people don't know what it looks like. A lot of people don't know what it feels like. So sometimes, even if you notice your friend is not being themselves, you should know it. Don't take it lightly. Like maybe something is really going on instead of. And then sometimes, even when it comes to like just lack of drive to do anything, people go through that at several points in their life. Sometimes more than other people. Sometimes less than people. Some people say that they never go through anything, but if you live the perfect life all your life, that's perfect for you. But don't look down on a person who may be lacking factors of motivators and determination and anything like that in their life to keep them going every day. Because sometimes going every day is a struggle. I went through it. That's how I know. It's not always easy to bring yourself out of a funk, especially when you get in your own head, unless you really have a support. Or sometimes some people don't have nobody. But then it always take that one person that's just like, hey. And then you'd be surprised who it is. And that's why I said I don't really like to throw that, oh, that's my friend. Oh, I know who that is. You know, but I don't. It's because it's kind of like and even sometimes people who you know the longest is not always there. I found peace and I found genuine concern and push and support from people who I've met in the shorter or known in the shorter time period than I've done people that I've known a long time. Like for instance, me and Jude. I known you about 4 years. 4 years. Mm-hmm. I'm closer to her than some people that I've known over 10.
Yeah. That's how I feel.
Like I'm more trusting of her than, some other stuff. And it's just weird because people get caught up on that. And then it's sometimes you just never know. And then it's all about opening up. Granted, you can't open up to all of your friends. You gotta know who your friendships are. But don't give up on people just because they're not getting it right there. Mm-hmm. You never know what they're battling internally in their mind and their mental that they're dealing with just to keep getting up every day or trying to get up every day. Or mm-hmm. instead of that, sometimes just saying, hey, just keep trying to give them words of encouragement and not put them down.
Yeah.
And then maybe you never know, one day they might just like, all right, cool.
And just simply just saying like, hey, like, I really don't know what you're going through, but I'm here for you. Like, just know I'm here. Like don't that push. Little bit, you don't even gotta push it. Just let them know like you're there for them. Like when you need, like whenever they need you, and then let it be that. Because some people are very private, and you gotta give them their space to figure out what they go through. That's why you gotta know who your friends are and who the person is that you're dealing with. In that sense, to know how to motivate them and how to support them in a sense.
And it's hard to open up. Everybody not. Listen, trust me. That's not how, if a person opens up to you who normally doesn't, and I'm telling you, usually the people who go through that the most or have moments where they don't feel like doing things or motivated to just do anything and keep going, be the strongest people you know.
Yeah.
And people will never do it. And it's like, and I always said, and some people get upset with me for saying it, but sometimes allow your strong friends, family member to be vulnerable. Yes. Allow them that space to feel and have feeling, have something else going on. Because sometimes it's letting them get it out and be vulnerable can motivate them to be like, okay, now I can open up more.
Right.
But when I hate, this is the one thing I hate. Yeah, but like, I don't know, I just don't feel like doing nothing. I just don't, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then somebody, you shouldn't feel like that. I don't even know why you feel like you don't need to be feeling like that.
I don't like
how can you tell me how to feel? And it's crazy. And it mainly happens to the people that people, quote unquote, feel like are the strongest people.
Yeah, no.
And that is the worst thing, because sometimes the strongest people are not robots.
Mm-hmm.
They have feelings. They feel. They go through stuff. And then it's like, you see it all over. People say sometimes who be there for the strong people.
Yeah.
And that is a true statement. And then them strong people.
Like, check on your strong friends.
And they the ones that break down.
Uh-huh.
When you do. And it's hard to really trust somebody and be vulnerable, because that's what had me spiral, because I was always the one
that's
that
what killed me about people. Uh-oh. The way that they're there for their strong friend. Okay. Because the way that they try to encourage the strong friend, the strong friend is like, hey, I'm here for you. Like, let me know if you need to talk, if you need anything. You do the whole 9. Mm-hmm. You get the strong friend, you're going to figure this out. Yes, I did, because I felt some type of way. They'd be like, yeah, friend, you going to figure that out. You always do. That kills me. Don't tell me I'm going to figure it out. I know I'm going to figure it out, but I need to get to the point where I need to figure it out. So can you help me get there a little bit? Like, they just be,
or just this. Don't say anything.
Yes, it's like, let me talk.
Yeah, just don't say anything.
They're like, you're such a strong individual. Because that's my biggest insult to people. I'll figure it out, like always.
They don't give the same encouragement where you might be like, you got this, just go through. Everybody, girl, you already know what to do. I don't even know why you talking something.
Right.
And you be like,
you get yourself out of these situations all the time. And it's like, that's not the point. It's not the point.
Yeah, I agree, 100%.
You see why I had to cross my leg?
No, because like I said, I've been through dark spaces where I didn't want to do nothing. Mm-hmm. I was in my own head. I was in whatever. But at that point in my life, I really didn't trust anybody to talk to, because nobody made me feel like it was okay. You get what I mean? So it was like I was in my head and I was so busy worrying about the mistakes and the, where I felt like things went wrong, as opposed to, okay, what can we do to change this? Because sometimes you do get in your own head where as though you don't see the tunnel, the light at the end of the tunnel. So then it's like, okay, now what next? So sometimes you got to go through it. And the more you go through it and you start thinking and you overthink. So that one thought that may work, then you think about something else. So now that backtrack, so now your thoughts are scrambled. And then you guys still, and while you're going through your stuff, you still have people, I need salty, totally ignoring the fact that you're distant and you're not the same. And then when you say you just need a little bit of space or you're not reaching out, I hate when people get mad before they know what's going on.
I've had that happen before.
And it's kind of like, let me get even motivated to have this conversation with you, because
my mental ain't right now. Right.
And that's why, you definitely gotta allow your friends the space to.
My friends, they've surprised me because I'm the strong friend. So like they've surprised me this go around, and like they've allowed me to be super vulnerable lately.
I got real close with a friend. I think I open up to one of my friends a lot more now than I think I've ever with anybody. Like share some stuff, and I think, but that was the only person. No shade to nobody else.
Right.
That allowed the space and the room for me to let that out, not feel like I was being judged,
right?
Not feel like something was wrong, not feel like none of that. I mean, man, this person talked to like 3-4 o'clock in the morning, not realizing, and it was just sharing, and I couldn't believe some of the stuff that I shared because I had never shared with nobody. Yeah. So it's still kind of like, and it was like after that, I had a clearer head and I wanted to do more. And I noticed because I was at that point, I felt like I was struggling in my classes and a lot of stuff. I just thought I was back to, sometimes you just gotta let people get stuff out, and put certain goals in place. Because when you don't feel up to doing anything, you don't set goals.
Yeah.
People don't even understand we set goals every day, whether we know it or we don't. But when you just down or you just not there, you don't have that mindset to even think of, okay, what am I going to do? Even if it's like, oh, I'm gonna put this table together, or I'm gonna do, that's a goal. You get what I mean? But then you be like, the table.
Yeah.
And it's like your drive, your desire to do anything is just completely gone.
Yeah.
And to the average, so some people who, some people like, I can't relate. Oh, I don't know. I need to go through that. Like, you can never. I always tell people, stop assuming everybody live like you, think like you, walk like you, talk like you, because people don't. You never know what people got going on in their own lives.
If that was the case, everybody would have the same motivations.
Be surprised.
Like that's what I feel like people don't realize. Like everybody don't have to think like you. They're not supposed to think like you. There's a reason everybody don't think the same. It's so that we can be different, so that we can be diverse. People kill me. I don't understand why people just don't see the wrong in this, because people don't think like you. That's not wrong to them. Like,
What do you think about motivational speaking?
It's annoying.
I don't think everybody's good at it. I think some people know what to say. It sounds good, but I don't feel it. I feel it more. You can tell when it's genuine. You can tell from a person who really, I don't want to say overcame, maybe overcame something. It's a different message. I never forget, like, it was this lady. I think I was in like middle school, high school, one you know, they had different people come and talk to you.
And that mess would kill me.
No, I never forget this. I can't remember her name though, because my memory, my little messed up. But she was telling her story, nice looking lady, everything. So she was talking about certain stuff she'd been through. And that was around the time like HIV, AIDS and stuff was like really, people was like dying.
Right.
And I didn't mean to say it like that.
Right.
But I'm sorry, I did not mean to say like, but I mean, it was like, it wasn't like the medications and the treatments and stuff wasn't there. So she ended it with what was, and pretty much about bullying, talking about people's looks and things like that, because she looked perfectly, but we would quote unquote all healthy. And when she said it, we was all like, and she was like, yeah, and y'all sitting here talking to me, and and this is in the third, and it was this kind of like the way she presented it. I know for me, I looked at people differently, and I was like, back, I can't look at people like, you just never know, and that always. So to me, I think like people like that can do motivational because it makes you think and it really changes your outlook on certain things. I think some people just talk.
You want to know what I feel like motivational speaking is? It's like an ad. Like they trying to sell me something.
A gimmick.
Yeah, like I ain't trying to buy it. And I'm just like, I hear you. Like that's how I be feeling when they be talking. Like you really gotta, if you're gonna be a motivational speaker, you gotta know how to talk to people. Yeah. Like you definitely gotta know. You gotta know your crowd. You gotta be able to read the room.
People, or I don't like gimmicks. You ever see people, they got a gimmick or they got something. I get you like to stand out, but I think it takes away from the sincerity of what you're trying to get at. That's just how I look at stuff. I would rather somebody really just be like, look, listen, I ain't running around, I ain't jumping around, got no bright lights. Ain't cost you nothing. Listen. And just give it to me raw.
I feel like every personal trainer tries to be a motivational speaker on social media. Not even ready to hold you. Every personal trainer.
I'm trying not to laugh.
Every personal trainer. And I know you know a few.
I'm a personal trainer.
Or trainers, as they call themselves. Yes, I'm gonna go there.
But everybody who goes to the gym is not a personal trainer.
Right, but they think they are. So we're gonna call them what they are, personal trainers.
They work out.
Right. And they be trying to tell people, yeah, if you just eat right and do this, and you're gonna be good. You're gonna be good to go. You just gotta keep your mind right. Gotta do what you got. And I'll be like, shut up. Because I just saw you eating an extra large pizza with extra grease and pepperoni sausage and no spinach on that pizza. Extra cheese. Talk about something. You gotta eat right. I don't want to hear that, Mr. Cheesesteak.
Or even out of that, how I like to see the results. Show me a person that look like me and then look like you. I don't want to see all muscles and flat. No, that doesn't motivate me to call you.
No.
That's
show me some diversity.
There you go. But I didn't know this one. This one caught me for a loop.
Oh no, it didn't for me.
No, because I've never associated anxiety. Now I've always known about depression, but I never thought that the lack of motivation would trigger anxiety.
Oh yeah, mine's good. When I have a lack of motivation, I'll probably have like two anxiety attacks a day.
Oh wow. What do you do?
Stay to myself. Because I ain't let nobody see me go through that because I be really panicking in my head. I be just going through it. My heart be, that'd be so bad. So I just say to myself, let's be like, yeah, we're just gonna be here, you guys. We're here. Let's do it.
Not let's do it. Do you breathe? Do you do your breathing exercise?
Yeah, but it takes a process. I gotta be getting my mind right.
But you know, a lot of people have it and don't realize it.
It's hard to different. Okay, so I actually just saw a video on this because it's hard to differentiate a couple things.
Okay.
So, oh my gosh, now I can't think of a video. I'm gonna have to send it to you later because I know I saved it.
Okay.
But the video said it was like a girl, like she was like something talking about like, hey, like how do I differentiate from my anxiety and then when I'm doing something else? And I can't remember now what it was. I'm sorry. What it was that she was exactly saying, but it was literally right there on the tip of my tongue because I was like, oh, that makes so much sense. Because a lot of people they do it, but they don't realize that. Oh, I can't think of the video. I wish I could. I'm gonna have to find it.
They do what?
That's what I'm trying to think of the video. I can't think of what it is. It's on the tip of my tongue, but really it's not coming to me. It's like the most. It's one of like I want to say most common.
Asthma attack?
No, it's not even like an asthma attack. That's more so related to like panic attacks because like I don't have a hard time breathing when it comes down to my anxiety attacks.
Like the dizziness?
Not even that.
Vertigo?
Sometimes it's just like not being. I think that's what it was. It was like not being able to articulate. So not being able to express themselves.
Yeah,
in a sense. So it's just like
a stupor.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So it's like okay. So I can't differentiate what I want to say or how my words should come out. And then it's like other stuff. Knock, knock, let me in.
Oh, Jay trying to come in.
Yeah, it just kind of. I'm gonna really have to find a video, and I'm gonna have to bring it up again and show you because it's a really good video.
Yeah.
I need that video to help me with my wording right now because it's not coming to me.
I like stuff like that because I like to learn those things. And I think it also helps you learn how to like communicate with people. Hey, Jay Nathaniel.
Hey.
Welcome.
I am late.
Do I got to catch you up to speed?
No, I'm gonna just go from where we at.
Turn your camera sideways.
Look at this camera.
Turn your camera sideways.
Turn it sideways.
Mm-hmm.
Shit, I don't know.
Yeah.
Wait a minute.
You want me to catch you up up to speed while you do that?
You mean this way?
Yeah.
Oh.
You want me to catch you up to speed with what we were talking about?
Just the very last conversation. I did hear the ones before that.
Oh, so the very last conversation we was talking about like things that happen when you lack motivation. So I had mentioned like the lack of we talked about how you're not as passionate about things as you would normally be. Mm-hmm. You don't have any goals. It could lead to depression because you don't have a desire to do anything. Mentally you're in your own head. And it kind of piggyback off of something that was mentioned in the first half when we were talking about friendship circles and being there for your friends. So I said, don't give up on a person.
Sorry.
And I was saying, don't give up on a person who you may feel is not getting it, because I didn't want to give it away too soon because I wanted to talk about it in this half, was because you just never know where they are mentally. And
I heard that part. Yeah.
Can I say your name because you was up here? Because it was a conversation that we had. It's about me though.
Okay.
So Jay is the person I was talking about. So it was one of them.
Oh, that was me because I was a little offended.
No, it was you.
I don't know what you're talking about.
No, because I was saying, sometimes, and you can relate, like a lot of times the strong friends are the friends that people don't understand. Sometimes we go through stuff, we get in our own head, we go through whatever. And I went through a long period of a time and you didn't even know a lot of stuff that was going on. I really didn't open up to a lot of people. And it was like one of the nights, I think we had a couple shots, we not even called each other. Mm-hmm. And I don't know how the conversation spent. And it was more so you like letting me know where I go wrong. And people don't know. And I kind of broke down and I told him, because he opened up the door in the space where so he never judged me. Mm-hmm. I didn't. It was that you ever feel like sometimes people don't allow you to be vulnerable. Yeah. Mm-hmm. And that's what I said. I said, sometimes when you get a friend that everybody want to go to talk to you for the advice, and then it's kind of like when it's your turn, you get shut down. At? Or it's like people tell you how to feel, what not to feel, and those things. And then sometimes when I say, don't tell me how to feel, it comes out the wrong way. I don't mean for it to be abrupt, but it's kind of like, you're not getting it. You're not listening to me. Mm-hmm. So then when I shut down, I don't want to talk, let me not talk because you're not willing to listen and allow me the space to have a feeling and an outlet. Whereas though I'm not strong, it's somebody else's turn today.
Right.
You get what I mean? So, and it was kind of like, I was just saying, like, you was like probably the first person that I shared some of the things that I shared.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh.
Anyway, so how do you feel about so Tajah went into the anxiety. We was talking about the anxiety piece, the depression piece.
Mm-hmm.
And the reason why I was saying don't give up on your friend, even if they say they don't seem like they're getting it, is because depression is real. And if a person has never experienced being in that state of mind or going through that, sometimes it happens often. You don't know what triggers certain points of depression. So, but that was a factor of my research. That's why I said some of the stuff, it was like, I was like, hey, that's connected to like a motivation too.
Mm-hmm.
And they were saying it could lead to like mental illness, and depression was like the major thing. It was that and anxiety.
I think I heard this the wrong way. Wait, I'm still listening. Yeah, I totally agree.
So what's your take on it? Or you need a second.
Hold on. Give me 1 second.
You want to finish on the anxiety part while you do that?
I forgot where I was at with it. I just know like my own personal experience with it. Like I guess because I already have anxiety, so it kind of heightens a lot more. Because like, especially if I have a lack of motivation, that means I'm really like going through some things. So it's like I must feel like things around me are just falling apart. Mm-hmm. So then my anxiety gets worse because I'm just like things are really falling apart, and now I don't know what to do. Well, I do know what to do, but I don't have the motivation to do it.
Mm-hmm.
So then it just gets worse.
Get out of my head. We just talked about this like a few weeks ago, maybe like a month or so ago.
Or what you want to add to it?
No, it may be a little more than a month ago. When I was like, I don't even want to take no pictures. Like, I don't have no oomph to do nothing. And it's like, I don't want nothing to do with anything artsy. I don't want to get out this bed. I don't want to go nowhere. And it was like, damn, I'm really down.
Yeah.
Like that's my outlet, and I didn't even want to do that. It's like, wow.
Mm-hmm. But those are the times, instead of people being like, that's when they supposed to be like, okay, but it give you that positive, and that's when you're supposed to really start cheering and being the support system for that person. And you already know that's what you're gonna do it.
I got cussed. I got cussed.
I know one of my friends, she's actually trying to start a candle business. And she was all like, she lost complete lack of communication. Like I said, lack of communication, lack of motivation.
Cussed out.
Oh, definitely is. It's something completely different than that one though. Right. I'm trying to say they're very different spectrums, I promise. But she's constantly losing like lack of motivation to like keep it going because like I guess like things around her. And so I just had to keep telling her, I'm like, whenever you finish up, like I just randomly might bring up, I'd be like, oh, whenever you're done with your candles, we're just gonna put them up. Like when I do for like my massage area, and she's like, oh my gosh, and then she get all excited.
Mm-hmm.
And then she started looking into more stuff, and then she started wanting to get her samples together. I'd be like, yeah.
All right, I got a question.
I may have an answer.
What is something that you do to try to bring yourself out to regain like your will to be motivated to continue to do certain things, anything, or just to keep going?
Pray.
You said pray?
Mm-hmm.
Say that one more time.
She said pray.
No, what was the question?
What do you do?
Yeah.
Oh, what is it that you do when you feel like to bring yourself out of a funk, when you don't feel motivated, so that you can get up and really get your oomph back?
It's weird. I actually kind of take some of y'all advice and try something different and step outside the box.
It helps. It helps a lot.
It does. It does. It's terrifying, and I'd be sweating up a storm, but it's like, let me try this one little thing different. Maybe this will give me a little push.
Trying new things that be just heavy. Like, wait a minute, maybe I shouldn't.
Yeah, for me, it's I think for me to get what helped me get through my periods were meditation, definitely. And meditation is also a form of praying. Being grounded, starting to educate myself on certain things that I was feeling about myself. Therapy. Also, just finding different things. That's how I really started getting into, and hear me out with the meditating thing. I want everybody to understand meditating, opening your chakras and everything. It's not a phase.
It's not.
It's really a lifestyle change. It's really about being. Yeah, it's really about being aware, and it's interesting. It's good to learn. It's a good way to try to help stay grounded, but it's not something that you just do. Oh, I'm gonna just do it for right now, and then you stop. It's an ongoing thing. So learning more about that, and then there's so many different forms of meditation.
Yeah.
The reason why you meditate, and of course, you and I also had that discussion too. Like for me, it's more culturally based, and spiritually based for me. So, but some people just like, and then they think they meditated. No, it's
No,
an
you
experience.
did not at all.
Okay.
That wasn't meditating. You took a nap.
Yeah, so I think so, right. So the more I got into that, I started to feel better. I started to feel a more sense of peace of mind. Also, just doing different things, and that's when I got really back into my painting and all kinds of stuff like that. Just trying to channel and can I say regurgitate the energy?
Yeah, like
regenerate. Yeah, the energy. Into something better. So I took what I was feeling and I put it to something that wasn't not only beneficial, but something that made me happy or joyous or feel good about myself. Where so some people be like, oh, go get your hair done, go get your nails done, feel good about yourself. Yeah. Sometimes it takes. I gotta feed my spiritual nature.
That doesn't always work. That's good for sometimes, but no, you need a little more.
Right. Yeah. Like I know for me, when it comes down to like the praying, like how people like when they going through stuff, they're like they pray for what they need. Me, I try to change my whole mindset during the prayer. So instead of praying for what I need or want, I pray for what I already have. So like I'll pray, like I'll be thankful and grateful for what I have and like how far I've gotten and like the skills that I've used to get how far I've gotten and to just keep what I've already gotten and just make it stronger so that I can get to a point where I can go further. I never try to ask for a whole lot. I always try to be thankful for what I already have so then I can start thinking like, oh, well, I have gotten pretty far.
Yeah. I continue to pray for peace of mind and guidance.
Oh, Jesus.
More than anything.
Yeah, because with a peace of mind and guidance, it leads you to make better decisions, better choices, to think differently, clearly, not to think negatively. And it also impacted who and how I socialize. Yeah. Who I wanted around in my space and didn't. And it wasn't necessarily like an issue, but sometimes you got to change a lot of things of normalcy to change you, to be a better you. And it's not a bad thing. And I think that's where sometimes people have to allow people to grow in the way that they need to grow and not feel a type of way. Like my growth, your growth, and whatever it is, that's going to be your motivator for the next phase. Success is not just about your career, your job, your business, your money. Success is just being better. Having a peaceful, happy, better life. That's what success looks to me.
Sometimes you have to outgrow people to do that. And everybody doesn't understand that.
Yeah,
like,
but
there's
you gotta change your mindset. It comes with your mindset. But you ever see some people
once your mindset change, the circle starts to change.
Yep. I was going to say because you ever see some people when you start to look at things from a different spectrum and from a different lens, and you start looking, sometimes you might be around people who you love to be around, you love them to death.
Mhm.
And then you just start to feel awkward.
Yeah, like something out there.
Yeah. So then you start putting that space because it's like y'all not on the same wave.
Mhm.
And it's like, I don't want to do that. And then it's like, even sometimes when people are like, oh, I don't want to do that.
No, I don't.
And then I'm the one, if I
really
say,
don't.
let's go on a trip, and you like, but you want to go to the club, and I don't want to do that. I want to go somewhere. It's 49 hours. Yeah, 49 other states other than Maryland. I want to see them.
And the 50? 49.
Yeah, we in the 50. We in Maryland now. So I want to go to the other 49.
Because people will be like, oh, let's go out of town, and be like, all right, let's go to DC. I don't want to go to DC.
Period.
I mean, I like DC and all, but that's
DC is nice.
not doing anything special.
But that's not a trip.
No, it's not. I can do that any day of
Like,
the
let
week.
me go out real quick.
I'm sorry. No shade to nobody.
No shade to DC.
Florida is not a trip.
You're literally not about to Atlanta, Miami, and Vegas me to death in this lifetime. No, you're not.
I was about to name all three right then and there.
New
If you
York.
ask me to go to Houston, I don't want to go to Houston, Atlanta, and Miami.
I might still go to
I've
Houston.
never been. I actually want to go to Houston.
I want to go to Houston,
I would go to
but not right now.
Huh?
But not right now. Oh, and then another one that everybody going to. Everybody going to Hollywood. Everybody's going to LA.
Well, wait, it costs too much.
Everybody's going. Ever since Nipsey, everybody's been going.
Yeah.
See, I don't like the fads. I don't.
Everybody's been going. They want to get a picture in front of the stores. That's their motivation. Getting a picture in front of the stores.
Yeah,
I think when you do different things, you find what your true passion is, though, and that's another reason why I said, huh?
Shaking things.
Oh, that's why I said I also want to like get into like traveling more. Because sometimes you don't know what you like until you just see other things that you may like. But some people get so consumed of, oh, I like this, and it's the same thing over and over. I get bored with that.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Give me something different. Give me another option or something.
Mm-hmm.
Now I already get bored at the drop of a dime. Like, please don't make it no worse.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. And if we plan a trip, don't make the trip just, oh, we sleeping and we drinking and then we gonna sleep and then we're gonna drink and then we're gonna sleep and then we're gonna drink. I want to go to museums.
Right,
I want to see the parks. I want to see some historical stuff. Let's go for a nice walk. And then we can drink in between.
I mean, yeah, we can still do all of that.
Yeah, still drink. But
you know,
there's other things to see
while we out.
other than the bottom of my cup, okay?
Yeah, and I want to actually remember the experience. Oh, it was one? Yeah. Yeah, so I actually want to remember the experience, but have a nice time. It's okay, but I don't want to just be, it don't always have to be, we drunk.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, yeah, we can have a nice time, but it don't have to be like this. I really want to enjoy, embrace, and do some things.
Let me tell you, the first time I seen an itinerary, that's how you say it?
Have you ever lost your patience?
We talked about this. Yes.
Oh yeah, I did say that. So what is your idea of trying new things?
Anything that makes me like uncomfortable
Mm-hmm.
or like out of my norm.
You know what I mean? It's the new thing. Probably.
Yeah, like if I look at it like, oh, maybe I shouldn't, then that's something new I'm trying. Definitely. Like if it don't make me feel like, okay,
for me,
like
I don't recover the same way I used to.
That part.
It depends on the risk that I have to take, and if is my life gonna pass? Now, depending on how bad my life gonna be in danger, it depends. Everybody know I cannot swim, so I'm not doing no large bodies of water. We're not going in the middle of the ocean. I need to go somewhere where I know my feet can still touch the bottom.
Be in the middle of the ocean on a cruise, but that's pretty nice.
I mean, I want to do that though, because I'm gonna be on something big, where though it's things to do to take.
I'm not gonna lie. The first time I went on a cruise and I saw all that water, and then the boat, I was like, wait a minute, I'm really in the middle of the ocean. And I low-key started freaking out. So I was
I'm
like,
gonna
let me
have
go.
to take something. I'm sorry. I'm gonna have to take something. I want to go on a cruise. It looked like a nice time, but I'm gonna have to take something.
No, honestly,
I
you
would
don't
be
even
seasick. I'm gonna need something for seasickness.
you don't even
I don't get
notice
seasick.
you're on
Yes.
the boat. That's the thing. The whole time you don't know that you're really on a boat, unless like, you know, it's kind of like a windy night or whatever, then you might feel like this way a little bit. But for the most part, you don't even notice
You know the Bay Lady.
unless you just look
What's it called? The
in.
Bay. What's the when we get the little cruise thing I took Jade on?
Mm-hmm.
So
yeah, that's
the Spirit.
The Spirit.
So you know the
That's
little
cute.
steps that you got to go over, and it's a little piece of strip of the water that you can see.
Right.
That gets me so paranoid.
Exactly. That's why I said
I've
I'm
had
gonna
too many
take something.
near-death experiences with water. People, let me tell you something. I have trauma with water.
Me too.
So when I look down and I see it, I be shaking, I be tipping. People be looking at me like, if she don't step 1 second, it takes me
Hold
like
on.
10 minutes just to get on the 2 little things to go over. And I'm
Walk
like,
around
you
me.
know what, man? Huh?
Walk around me. You better step around. It's enough room.
No, it be a line and they make me nervous because it kind of shake a little bit.
Mhm.
First of all, you're not about to do a pullover. How many pounds do this hold? That's number
I
one.
don't think you need to get on the cruise because the way you gotta go onto the cruise is a certain way. You might freak
Once I
out.
get over the fact that I can't see the land, if I can get over that, I'm okay.
I would just
But
say when you go on the
I can't
cruise,
look.
just don't look outward.
I
Just
cannot
keep
look.
walking straight through the tunnel.
Yeah.
Thing. Don't you
I
know how
can't.
like when you at an airport, you go through that like little tunnel part?
I've never
Mhm.
been on a plane.
Oh my gosh, we gotta get you to do some stuff. So it's
You
like
going
that.
this year?
2020. I am. I already got it like kind of slightly mapped out a few months.
Yeah.
I'm
we
gonna
doing at
grow
least
up.
2 spring trips a year.
I'm gonna grow up this year. I am.
I love it. I'm here for
I'm
it.
gonna take some Benadryl.
I'm supporting it.
I am. I sure am. I'm gonna take me Benadryl. I'm gonna have me a glass of champagne or whatever they serving. And this, yeah, we going, yeah. I'm gonna work it out.
Get some liquor.
Let me be sleep.
Ease me up a little
I
bit.
know the next time I go on a cruise, I'm gonna get the liquor package.
Okay.
They don't tell me nothing.
Yeah.
And they be like, and honestly, they be like,
Because
it's
you know,
not
I'm scared
even.
of heights
They're
too.
like, it's not even worth it. I'm like, I'm gonna use it. I'm gonna make it worth it.
Excuse me. Hello.
You said another one. Thank you.
Mind
Keep
your
them
business.
coming. Yeah. Keep them
Mind
coming,
your
Bubba.
Remember, I had a meeting on the cruise.
Oh, yeah. He sure did. Oh,
Jesus Christ.
I'm sorry. I messed up.
Oh Lord.
I don't know how Rick. Guys, Rich be on vacation and still working. I'm like, oh no, listen. Let me tell you something. If I go on a cruise, I'm off.
DND.
And unless you want to see me on the cruise, unless we going to
That's
vlog
right.
it,
Be my motivation because I've been wanting to do a cruise by myself. The first time I went on a
I'm doing
cruise,
one to Canada.
I was pregnant with my mom, and then the second time I went on a cruise, I had my mom,
Mhm.
and she was my road dog. I'm not gonna lie, Della had more fun than I did on the cruise.
She be like, come on, mama.
This is why she couldn't even talk. Homegirl had a ball. She was running around with a slice of pizza all day long.
That's all you need in life.
Yes, and then we would take a nap every day at the same time. We would wake back up. The cruise director
Pizza
said
and
he was
nap
for her at
life.
one point.
It's a day.
Everybody on the boat knew her. It was so bad. Like she was just on it.
We just went way off.
We did.
So I know we got like 6 minutes.
Yeah.
So what I want to do, I want to do 3 and 3 for y'all too. I'm gonna start with Jay because you joined us kind of late. So I would like for you to start. Huh?
It wasn't my fault.
No, I mean you're fine. I know you had to get your coin.
Okay.
I
So
wasn't getting toys. It just took that long.
oh no. So what I would say is, if you could summarize and give a brief summary of motivation, how to identify, and how to get your motivation. What would you tell to somebody who is trying to regain motivation who may not be there yet?
I would maybe try to find somebody with the same passion that you have, or maybe something in the same lane. Because they might, even though you're doing kind of the same thing, you might be looking at it from a different angle.
Okay.
So you might get another point of view, and then it's like, oh, okay. Well, maybe if I try this, I won't start to feel like this and get maybe frustrated or something.
Mm-hmm. I can see that.
What'd she say?
Nothing. I'm over here playing with buttons while you were talking. I was listening to you.
Jesus Christ.
I had some tea.
Arky.
Y'all know I like buttons. I'm sorry, but I was listening.
Yeah, no, I would definitely find somebody on the same path as you, or maybe somebody who's already where you want to be.
Mm-hmm.
Because then they can give you a been here, done that kind of point of view.
Yeah.
Even advice. Advice is always great. Advice is wonderful. If I want it, I gotta ask for it.
Yeah.
I'm just be trying handing out advice to people that don't care.
Yeah, I told you I'm trying something new with that. I asked now.
Yeah. I'm glad
Do you mind?
I'm glad she did.
I do.
I don't be wanting to hear it sometimes.
Sometimes it don't be the right time. And you can't always read the room of time and when your input is needed.
Because now she'd be like, can I give you some advice? And I'd be like, no. Mm-mm.
And I'll back off.
You know what works good?
Like, okay, maybe next time.
What works good sometimes, it doesn't work for everybody or every time. But before the conversation starts, ask that other person, do you want me to listen or do you want me to respond?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Because if you just want to vent, okay, I'm not going to say anything. I'm going to let you vent.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna keep all of my thoughts and everything. I'm gonna keep them to myself.
Okay.
But real quick before Tajah say her little piece, what that part is when people tell me, okay, I just need you to listen, and when I'm listening, and they be like, oh, you just not gonna say nothing. You listen.
Look, you can't
have both ways.
Pick one.
Right. Exactly. Okay, Tajah, go ahead.
What was the question?
What advice would you give someone who's trying to regain motivation, who may be stuck and not know?
Oh, that's
like,
easy. My biggest thing, like, I feel like the main thing I tell everybody is take your time. Like, don't try to rush yourself. I feel like everybody, especially nowadays, everybody feel like they supposed to have a house and car, and they're supposed to be so successful by a certain age. And it's always between the 21 to 25 mark.
Mm-hmm.
So of course, a lot of people that ask me for advice are between that age range. So the main thing I gotta tell them is take your time.
Mm-hmm.
Like, because at the end of the day, we got time. We got time. We're gonna get there, but that doesn't mean it has to be now. Maybe it's not your time, and that's okay. You gotta find your time. You gotta find your process. You gotta find what way works for you, because every way don't work for everybody. And then the first thing they ask is, well, what did you do? Don't do what I did, because I couldn't tell you. Half the time I can't remember.
That's true in your 30s too, though.
Yeah, and I tell people, do what makes you happy, not what you want, but not what you think other people want you to do.
Yes.
And I think that's where some people go wrong a lot of times, is they do what the status quo says okay, and then internally they're not happy. Do what brings you peace and do what makes you happy. So on that note, thank you, Jay.
Thank
for coming.
you.
So you definitely gonna be here next week. Thank you, Titi. So you're gonna be here next week too. We're talking about music in depth. We got DJ Bosco, my homie. Love him coming in. So far, hopefully I can it may be someone else. It's gonna be a really good show. So hopefully we will see you guys then. Thank you guys for tuning in, listening, watching. If you haven't done so, and you got a Roku TV, any device, download the Hand TV app. Or make sure you download the Ham Radio app, or you can always watch us live on hamradio.org. But of course, you can always listen to in your car and all that good stuff on the Ham Radio app.
And that's on Per.
Thank you. See y'all next week.
What?